Well, I'm my co-host, Tanya Davis. How are you, Tanya? Tanya.
Sorry, I think my camera's lagging a little bit. Sorry.
That's all right.
Hi,
So,
everyone.
there we go. And we'd like to welcome on board our partners for the Citizens for Recovery podcast. It is Matt McAday from Talking City. How are you going, Matt?
Hey Blake, it's always an honour to be on with a club legend like yourself, mate. So I'm stoked to be here.
Thank you very much. Just before we get into our chat with our very special guest who you can see on your screens right here, right now, just a little reminder in the chat below and the bio for the donation link for Citizens for Recovery. Also, we have our webinars coming up with Ask the Players on Monday, the 10th of August, featuring Steph Catley, Elise Keller-Knight, Ivy Lilick, and Sophia Sakara, sorry. And then the following week, we have Joe Montiero, Rado Vidicic, and Tanya Oxerby. And the week after that, we have Melissa Barbieri, Thomas Sorensen, and Tom Glover. For that, $20 donation and a ticket, we'll post the links later on for that as well. And your whole family can join in off the one ticket. I would like to introduce our very special guest for this evening, currently in the hub in Maitland, in New South Wales. He is Melbourne City superstar and goal scorer on the weekend.
Yay!
Craig Noone. Craig, welcome, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks very much for having me on.
That's all right, Craig. Now, before we talk football and Saturday night, of course, what's your experience been like with the city and the community?
Yeah, it's been good. I know they do a lot of work for a number of charities, but the Citizens Given one's really hit off, and it's gone down well. We've raised a lot of money, and it's all for a great cause.
What's your experience been like? Have you been out to any of the programs or anything like that?
I've done a couple at the beginning of the season, but obviously with what's been going on, I haven't been able to do as much as I'd like. Obviously based in the hub as well, it's difficult now, but coming on and doing these sorts of things is, the players enjoy doing it, and yeah, as I said, it's all for a good cause, so I think everyone's happy to help.
And now we'll move on to the football. We'll touch more about the city community later on in the podcast, but again, goal scorer on Saturday night after being so long of playing football. How did that one feel?
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice feeling, to be honest, after all the work that we've put in as a team, and during the pandemic when we was back in Melbourne, obviously the league finished, but we were still training and working hard, and it was all towards that first game. And I think you can see in the performance that we all work towards that, and yeah, we got the performance that we hope for, and we can hopefully take it game by game now and build on that.
So before I pass on to Tanya with a few other questions, when the ball left that boot of yours and headed towards the back of the net, what was the first thing going through your head when it hit the net?
Just relief, to be honest. I was probably overthinking it, and tried to make it a bit too perfect. So I seen it going towards the post, and then it went, luckily for me, in the side netting. So yeah, it was just a relief that I scored in, and yeah, ran away celebrating.
So Tanya, I believe you have some questions from our fans on social
media. Just following on about, our guys have all been working towards this restart. We actually had a question from Darren asking, do you think the hub has really helped the team bond a bit more?
Yes, that's definitely been the case. We've been, even when we was in Melbourne, I know we was, like, the sessions that we was doing was really hard, and everyone was getting around each other. And then we've obviously came to Sydney. We spent 2 weeks in quarantine, and I think that really brought us together, not just the players but the staff, and everyone was like really getting around each other. We'd watch games together, we'd play cards together. We'd do as much as we can together.
Mm.
And obviously we was working hard there as well. And now we've came down to the Hunter Valley, and that's been good for team bonding as well. So going back to your question, yeah, I think the team bonding's, it's definitely took things to the next level being in a hub, and it's all good for team morale and, you know, getting to know each other, and people are really coming out the shell, and we've got a great team bonding at the moment.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we do have also a question from Dylan, who did want to know who's your best friend at the club and why, if you have any particular ones, any players that you enjoy hanging out with the most.
Yeah, I could list the majority of the lads, to be honest, that I hang about with. We tend to not just hang about in cliques, rather than that we all get together, you know, we play table tennis together. Back in Melbourne, obviously, I was close with Scott Jamison and McLaren, and they really helped me settle in, and Richard Wimbichler as well, who was joined the same time as me. But yeah, going back to that, I think, you know, I play cards with Josh Belante and Richard and a few others, and then play table tennis with, you know.
So who's the table tennis champion then?
Curtis Good. I hate to say
Yeah.
yeah, he's a bit of a robot. He just stands there, just getting it back and waiting for you to make the mistakes. But I'd say he's number one.
I love that. Well, we had a question from Peter asking, where is your favorite place in Melbourne? Like, how much have you enjoyed living in Australia so far?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, to be honest. You know, especially up until everything that was going on, I was, you know, me and my fiance was really enjoying doing a bit of sightseeing and getting around the city, and going down to, like, Mornington's beautiful, and ticking all places off that we've, you know, touristy type places that we wanted to see. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, not just the lifestyle and stuff, but the football as well, and you know, the training facilities that we train at every day. Yeah, the people are really friendly. The staff can't do enough for you. The teammates as well. You know, they've really helped me settle in from the moment I got here, and that's why I've thoroughly enjoyed my time here.
Yeah, that's good. Well, then David also asked then, is playing in the A-League different than in overseas?
Yeah, there's a number of differences. Obviously, the weather's a factor. Although Saturday and a few other games we've had has been more like English type weather, so I've been a bit used to that. But yeah, it's obviously a short season as well, which is something I'm new to. The weather, yeah, the teams as well. It's obviously, there's some good teams in the league, and you have to figure out each team's, you know, best bits and how we can exploit them to win the game. And there's a number of different factors about playing over here than there is in England. So yeah, I'd say there's quite a few differences.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in that case, like, what advice would you give to anyone wanting to play football? That was a question asked by Jessica.
I'd just say, you know, play with your friends and play as much as you can, which is the main thing. You know, it's good to get out and play some football, and even like the other sports, AFL, and I think it's very good for everyone's mental health that you get out and you play sports and you get fresh air, and you're not just tied up on your phones and social media and computers and stuff like that. I think it's really important that, for your health reasons as well as enjoyment, that you get out, and obviously playing football's the perfect way to do it.
I definitely agree. We did have like a special question. This is going to be like the last couple of questions from our friend Michael Ong. I heard that you're a Liverpool fan, and how did you celebrate Liverpool's title win?
Basically, we was in hotel quarantine as well, so it was difficult to celebrate. But we actually it was 5:30 in the morning that Liverpool was playing Chelsea on the last home game, which they were due to lift the trophy on. So Georgie, the analyst guy, he set up on a projector for me and the other Liverpool fans of the team to watch it, and yeah, we all watched it before breakfast. Me, Dean Bazanis, Stefan Kolakowski, Georgie's obviously a Liverpool fan as well. So yeah, it was. I had a cup of tea in my hand, and I was celebrating watching on a projector screen and watch them lift the trophy. So that memory will live with me forever.
Yeah, well, I heard that your favorite player is Steven Gerrard. Am I right? Okay.
Yeah,
do you have any other favorite Liverpool players that? Do you have any other favorite Liverpool players? Maybe over time, or who's your current favorite Liverpool player? Who's part of the squad now?
Current favorite player is probably Jordan Anderson, the captain. Just everything about him, I think. He, his leadership skills and his attitude and his performances on the pitch. He's a real leader, and he's definitely improved his game. As you know, he was slagged off a bit when he first came to Liverpool, and now he's lifted the Premier League and the Champions League within the last couple of years. So that's all down to hard work, and it's good to see. And from now, he's probably my favourite player.
So we do have Matt McAday from Talking City here, who's currently put this on Facebook Live for us through the Talking City app. Make sure you guys listen to the podcast and also listen to SEN. Not tonight, tomorrow night. Yeah, tonight, sorry, because unfortunately they can't be on. But Matt, do we have any questions from yourself and the fans here live?
Yeah, so just to follow on from the whole Liverpool fan side of things, does it change the experience, the fact that the stadium was empty? Does that change how you feel about the trophy lift, or is it still as special as if you were there?
No, yeah, it was still as special. Obviously, my friends and stuff, they was messaging me, watching it, and it would have been nice if we was all together. The friends that I went to the game with, and we watched Liverpool all over, really, going to games and stuff. But it's a difficult circumstance at the moment, so I think everyone was in the same situation, watching it all on TV. So everyone's got the different experiences, and I'll certainly never forget mine, where I was in hotel quarantine watching Liverpool and lift the trophy at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's definitely a story for the ages, I think. Unfortunately, as an Everton fan, I'm still a little bit salty, but we won't go into that much detail. In terms of the differences between playing in Australia and England, is it a hard thing to do for yourself to change the mindset from first past the post being all that matters to knowing there's a playoff series at the end?
It's something to take into consideration. Obviously, the structure of the league, the way it goes, is that, as you say, the Premier's played the first, and then the Championship, the grand final type thing, is the main trophy, what everyone aims for. So that's been our plan during, the whole season, really. We wanted to be champions as well as Premier Play champions, but that wasn't to be. So our next aim was to obviously get to the grand final and win it, and that's what we're hoping for. That's what we're working towards.
And I guess the other trophy that's always on offer has been on offer for the last few years for the A-League has been the FFA Cup, and obviously that was a pretty disappointing evening. How hard was it to change the mentality of the squad to get past such a game like that, or a result like that, to then come out and I think we beat, was it Western United 2-1 3 days later off the top of my head?
Yeah.
So how was that for the squad?
Yeah, I mean, going back to it now, it was obviously, like you say, a really difficult night. We was really confident going into the game, but it wasn't meant to be. If I remember rightly, the coach straight after the game was saying like, "This is done now. It's gone. We can't dwell on the past." And we've got it. It was a quick turnaround. I think you say, yeah. A couple of days later, we played Western, and it was a chance to like put that aside and concentrate on the league. And that's what I think. As soon as we left the stadium, obviously we was all disappointed, but the focus was then on Western. And yeah, I think we went a couple of games unbeaten from that, and that stood us in good stead. And I'd like to think we haven't looked back since.
Yeah, definitely. The performance from a fan side of thing has been nothing short of impressive. Kind of building on from that, which kind of culminated in such a release of energy on the weekend. Do you think that performance comes down to the amount of time you've had to train and get everything right with the structure that you want to play, or do you think there's an element of everyone was so excited to get out there and finally play football again that it was like a release to go out there against Sydney?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of everything, really. Like you say, the hard work that we've put in during, as I mentioned before, going back to when we was in Melbourne, we was working hard then. We've done a lot of work on the training field, and it's credit to the coaches that we've worked really hard, and we've done what they've asked us to. And we like to think that we keep on learning every day, and trying to get better in each and every day. And even today, our aim was to look at what we can do better, even though it was a great performance on the weekend. We're always looking to improve, and that's what it'll take.
Yeah, I think that's definitely how Sydney seems to have approached it for the last couple of years. They've never been satisfied with one good result, and I think that's something that's quite important in this league. I've got a question for you, a bit of a fun one from BT50, our friend in Ballarat. He wants to know: would you rather fight one Jamo-sized spider or 1,000 spider-sized Jamos?
What was the first one? Did you say one giant size?
Yeah, so one Jamo-sized spider. Which, in fairness, Jamo's not a tall guy, so is it that scary of a spider?
Well, surprisingly, Jamo can be quite angry sometimes. I know he comes across as the nice skipper, and he does everything so perfect and stuff, and he's a great captain and leader and everything that comes along with that. But he's definitely got a switch in him, and the aggression comes out, and not so much in training and stuff, but in games he's definitely one to put a tackle in.
So basically you're saying Gemma's got white line fever. As soon as he gets past that white line, he's someone completely different.
No, not at all. I wouldn't speak bad of captain. Going back to the question, I'd say the one giant size spider Jamo.
I would have to agree with you there, and I wouldn't want thousands of little Gemos running around and trying to attack me. But yeah, that's actually a good question for the 10-year and Matt as well. What is your opinion on that?
I'd have to go for the one giant, the Jamo-sized spider, for sure. I think I'm actually might be 1 centimeter taller than him, so I think it could kind of work in my favor.
I think I'd go the 1,000 spider-sized Jamos and just try and step on as many at once as I could, and like work in little sections. Try and segregate the weak from the strong.
You thought about this
my
before.
game plan. Well,
yeah, you definitely you've had the question earlier on and really thought about it.
Someone once asked me the same question with Ducks and Kevin Muscat, so I think that's kind of where it came from. And there's a real hatred for Muscat. So the more damage you can do, I think the better. We've got another question here from our friend Harrison. He said he can't keep his composure in front of goals on a frosty Tuesday night in Brunswick futsal. How do you do it when the angle's more, or how should he do it, sorry, when the angle's more acute than a year 9 maths class like you did against the Smurfs?
Wow.
I think don't think about it too much. Just when you're going through, just try not to think about it and just do what your instinct says and try to just put it past the keeper.
On a serious note, for young strikers, how did you work on your actual finishing ability? Because obviously there's composure, which is important, but then also the ability to put enough speed on the ball, enough curl on the ball. How did you work on that as a youngster, and what tips would you have?
I think it just comes with practice. The more you practice, the easier everything gets. Well, not easier, but it just comes natural to you then. That you keep practicing. You might get bored of doing the same thing and repetitive situations and stuff, but all that practice and the hard work that you put in will basically come down to, it'll just be natural to you to just do it. And that's the advice I can give, would be to never get bored of practicing.
So I do have a question. Was asked early on in the week from the Sons of City. They sit in section 19. How does football compare with fans inside the stadium and no fans inside the stadium?
I think I was speaking about this. Actually, after the game on Saturday, you could hear everything going on in the game. You can hear each other like demanding stuff from players and giving advice and stuff like that, which you can't normally hear as much on when there's fans there. Also, you've got the other team telling them their players and giving them advice, and then you've got both teams having a bit of a natter against each other and winding each other up. So you do quite a lot more than you normally would when there's no fans. But we all want to see fans there. It creates an atmosphere, and it's not the same playing with no fans. I'm not gonna lie.
So on the terms of that, being able to hear things, were you able to hear Redmayne's heart break when you were able to drop him and just side foot that ball into the net?
Not so much that now. I just tried. I didn't think about anything else other than, as I mentioned before, just putting it in the back of the net. I was a bit worried, but now going back to that, I think there was a few incidents where you could hear people nattering, and I think Luke Bratton's got a few friends, and he was trying to wind up a few of them, and I was trying to wind up Adam LaFondra and stuff like that. So as much as everyone's serious on the pitch, you'll do whatever you can to get an advantage, and whether that's winding the other team up, and hopefully they get wound up about it, and it has an effect on the result.
Well, it definitely seemed to do the job, with such a commanding performance and to keep LaFondra really chanceless. I can't think of if he had any clear-cut chances. I might be wrong, but from top of my head, I can't think of him.
No chances at all.
Which is pretty rare for an A-League side, and I think that should be worn as a bit of a badge of honour. As a front three, obviously Redmayne pulled off some ridiculous saves in that first 45. I think there was probably 3 or 4 clear-cut chances that on another day are probably sneaking in. what was the discussion at halftime on how to beat him?
Yeah, as you mentioned, he pulled off some great saves. You know, we know he's a very good goalkeeper, and obviously he's had a good career and he continues to do so. I think he's involved in the Socceroos, and yeah, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. So we knew he's a good goalkeeper, and he pulled off some great saves. And like you said, I think I had a chance that would have went in on a different day. And I know Flo's chance was, I don't know how the keeper saved that. But yeah, we could have been a couple up before half time, and then it was just a bit of a relief to get the goals in the second half. Myself and Maka. And because you know, some days you'll have them chances, but they won't go in, and it just won't go in no matter how hard you try. But yeah, it was a relief to get past them in a way.
So I do have a question for you. I know it was a pre-season game, but what has been your best goal? The goal against Manchester United or the one hit from Croydon against Bentley Greens?
Yeah, I'd have to go with the second one, what you said, Blakey.
The one hit from Croydon. Shout out to Matt for that one. The thing there.
I know he was. I picked him up from the station that day, and I'm not afraid to throw him under the bus here. He had that line prepared. He was hoping that someone would hit a shot from outside the box so he could throw out that he's hit it from Croydon. And I'm sure I'm going to get a message in a couple of minutes about that when he catches up. But no, that wasn't the quick thinking everyone thought it was. He pre-planned that one, so he's just lucky you came through, Craig.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we've run out of time with Craig. He's currently in the hub in Maitland, and he's got to go off and do some other stuff for the club. But guys, please do stick around for the next part of the show. But on behalf of Melbourne City FC and the Citizens for Recovery Program, Craig, we thank you for your time.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me on. I just want to say just a few things before I go. I think Jamie McLaren mentioned the other day that, you know, we're all thinking of everyone back in Victoria. I know the players are working hard, and we want to get the results and to put smiles on faces back for the people of Victoria, and you know, all our fans there, and you know, even you guys that are there, and we know the work that you're putting in. So yeah, we appreciate that, and hopefully we can go and get the grand final, and we'll win that, and we'll all celebrate together when we can.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments section, thank you very much to goal scorer on the weekend, number 11.
Yeah, thanks, Craig.
Thanks for having me on. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Go enjoy the rest of the night, Craig.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. While Craig leaves us there, just a few updates with the city and the community programs. The I Speak Football program has still been delayed due to this COVID stuff, but we are moving to a remote learning kind of feature for the I Speak Football program. We're also going to be introducing our Healthy Hat Tricks program again, which will be a remote learning. Also, we will be doing ball donations and youth leader social nights for the city and community, as our Craig leaves there. But with those programs, I think it's coming an age of dawn where everything's becoming online now, and I'm pretty sure, like Matt, you're now working from home as well, and I think you are as well, and.
Yeah,
it is going to be a little bit hard for now, guys. But again, the message is please stay home if you don't need to go out. You know, let's get this through this, as Craig said there. They are thinking about you and all that kind of stuff. Again, guys, please make sure in the description down below or the bio to head to the website and donate to the Citizens for Recovery. Again, with our webinars coming up as well, $20 will get you into some of the players, some of the goalkeepers, and some of the coaches throughout the year.
Yeah, it's really exciting, that one. I think maybe like just a little update as well. So far, the match worn shirts that have been auctioned over the weekend. Cityzen Giving has already raised $12,000, which is really good. And our last stream last week raised about $250. So every little bit does count, guys. In the box, the link.
Again, I want to thank Talking Cities, Matt McAdoe, for coming on and partnering us again.
Legend.
Matt will be joining us again next week and following it as well. So again, thank you to Talking City for providing the help. Matt, let's talk to you about the game on Saturday night. How were you feeling?
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous going into the game, to be honest. It was one of those ones where I was probably a little bit overconfident. I had a feeling that it was just one where we were going to be able to pull off that type of result. Just I thought the rest that we've had would put us in good stead and to come out. And I don't think anyone's dominated Sydney that way in a good 3 years or so. So that was such an impressive performance, and I think it's been a little bit understated so far how big of a statement that is going into a finals campaign. So it keeps the race for second on, and I think that should be the goal. I know that Wellington can't knock us out of a Champions League position, but I'd still rather see at the end of the season that we finish second and have that easier pass through to a grand final than finish third.
I agree.
Tanya, your thoughts? I know we had a chat before the actual game, but your thoughts leading up to the game?
Yeah, I had high expectations for this game because, look, the guys were fit before all this stuff happened, but you could really see in a lot of the training videos from the hub and even before the hub that the guys were definitely working super hard and they looked fitter, and you could see that on the pitch. So everything they are working towards and are committed to is showing some positive, showing positively. So yeah, the next game going in, I think we will also have a really good chance. Who have we got next? Adelaide?
Adelaide United on Tuesday the 11th.
Yeah. So I'm pretty confident that, we'll probably they've even got time now to analyze their performance just now. And could they make that better? Because all the feedback, everyone on the internet was buzzing. Also, the pre-game and during show that Melbourne City put on was really good as well. So yeah, Saturday was a good day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And then just a reminder, our boys play again on Tuesday, the 11th of August against Adelaide United. Also, speaking of Tuesday, the 11th, auction items are still up for player boots and a couple W League players' jerseys. So please make sure, again, head to the Melbourne City website and have a look at those auction shirts. We've got a Lydia Williams signed top. We've got Steph Catley signed top. We got a Rebecca Scott signed top and a few player boots as well. I'm pretty sure, Matt, you have been on that website and bidding.
Yeah, I've been dreaming about all the merch that I would love to own. There's even a Messi signed Argentina shirt as well. So it's Di Maria's shirt, which is still actually ridiculously low for what it is. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. And there's even a fully signed Matilda's squad shirt, which is effectively the Melbourne City shirt, just in yellow. So make sure you definitely check it out. There's some great deals, and it's such a wonderful way to support what they're doing.
And also, guys, there's also some Manchester City kits worn by the actual Manchester City squad, which I'm sure Tanya has been trying to get her hand on.
I'm also in another group where we're doing our own virtual raffle for the Citizens Giving for Recovery for Melbourne, and we have a Gabriel Jesus kit that's been signed by him, and also a full men's squad Melbourne City kit as well. So that's on my Instagram profile if anyone's following me. If you're not following me, it's Tanya. So yeah, it's it starts at it's a raffle, so it starts at we've made it international, so it's in US dollars, but it starts at about $10 for 20 entries, and that's until the 20th of August. So that's our little contribution from the Manchester City Supporter Club in Sydney.
So before we wrap it up here tonight, Matt, again, thank you for hosting. Is there any questions or any feedback for the social media on Talk?
None via social media so far. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty with Facebook. It conked out after 30 seconds, but YouTube's been up and running and we've had people watching there. Yeah. But one thing I do just want to quickly say from a Talking City perspective, what we want to do during this lockdown period, especially for companies and businesses run by Melbourne City fans, is please reach out. We're going to run some advertising, put some links on our website for you guys, and help City fans support other City fans. So I think we've got definitely one on board already with Framing Direct, so who are actually doing the shirts for the club. So if you buy a shirt from the club auction and you want it signed, it's going through to Zoran, who's a fantastic guy and a massive City fan. So just reaching out to if you're a City fan and you run your own business, please feel free to DM the Talking City page and reach out to us directly, and we're more than happy to try and help, especially during this lockdown period.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah, we've Zoran. He actually did the Melbourne Heart shirt behind me here, so he does really good work. Please make sure you give him a contact if you have any signed shirts or any merchandise you want done as well. So shout out to Zoran, and he's a big supporter of the club as well. I reckon that will do it with our topics for tonight. We'll be returning same time Monday this time due to the fact the game will be on a Tuesday night. The guests, we're going to keep a little bit of a surprise. So we'll keep the guests a surprise until next week. I'd like to thank again Talking City for coming on as partners as this show. The wonderful Matt McAday has helped us set everything up tonight. So thank you again, Matt.
Thanks for having me, mate. It's an honour to be involved with Citizens Giving. Such a fantastic thing.
And again, thank you to another wonderful co-host, Tanya Davis. Please make sure you go follow her on Instagram for Melbourne City content and her day in life as well. So again, thank you. Thank you, Tanya.
Blake. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Matt. See you next week.
Yeah, and again, a shout out if Craig's somewhere around. Thank you to Craig Noone for coming on. Until next week, we'll see you then. Come on, City!
Come on, City!